perfect mess is my perfect mess. Perfect mess is my perfect mess.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Perfect Mess Podcast. I'm your host, Ray Molina, and this is episode 38. Off top, I want to give you some information so you can follow us on socials and check out the website. The Instagram for the Perfect Mess Podcast is at the Perfect Mess Pod. My personal Instagram is at It's Ray Molina, and my website is raymolina.com. Make sure to check all those out. Give me a follow, give me a shout. I'd love to hear from all you guys. And make sure to check out the website. You can actually check out all the past episodes there. You can listen, you can watch, you can also check out any books that I've been reading. I got merchandise on the store. And you can just see all the different things that I do. My Instagram feed is also on that website, so you can see what I'm up to and what I've been doing and whatnot. So again, Instagram is at It's Ray Molina, at the Perfect Mess Pod, and my website is raymolina.com. Uh, Before I jump off into anything, I want to tell everybody that this podcast continues to grow because of you. It is not something that I advertise. I don't do anything like that. I just literally put it out there. I share it on my Instagram, my Facebook, and whatnot, and my website. And I leave it up to you guys. If you like what you hear, if you like what the stuff that I'm talking about, and you feel like people should hear it, I leave it up to you guys to share it, to like it, to review it, to comment, to subscribe and follow, all of those things. I'm also on YouTube. Make sure to find the Perfect Mess Podcast with Ray Molina on YouTube. All right. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing okay. You know what I mean? I know it's been a while. My life has been crazy. Baseball, Little League Baseball has basically owned my life for the last, I would say, 2, 3 months. It's just been nuts because not only do I coach, but I do a lot of other things, man. It's just been a roller coaster of trying to uh, be there for all these kids and teach them the game of baseball, be a father to my own kids, and teach them about life and whatnot, and get my kids through the last month or so of school. I had birthdays. Both my kids had birthdays, one in May and one in June this month. Uh, my mom had a birthday. My sister had a birthday. My kid's mom had a birthday. My kid's grandmother had a birthday. You name it. It just been a nutty, nutty, nutty last couple of months. But I'm holding it together like I always do, and just staying positive through all the craziness that is my life. Hence the name, The Perfect Mess. So before let's see, I'm gonna jump off into, let's do a quick recap. Come on now. Recap. Okay, not a recap, a recap. All right, there's a lot of crap going on too. So let's get through this. So let's do a recap on what I've been up to and whatnot before we jump off into the topic. My son Jordan ended the year on the honor roll. I'm extremely, extremely happy. He's going into the seventh grade. So we got his report card, and he made the honor roll again to cap off the year, which I'm very happy. As you guys know, we've been homeschooling. It's been tough on both me and his mom, having to balance work and making a living, and also raising our kids and being at home and being there to make sure that they're doing the best they can while homeschooling. So it looks like we are coming out of that. It looks like next year will be a regular school year, and we are excited. I know I speak for her when I tell you that we are excited about that. So Jordan made the honor roll. Jaden's in fourth grade going into fifth. They don't do grades, but he made top of the class. They do numbers and whatnot. They don't do letter grades. So he also finished at the top of his class. I'm extremely excited because my little guy is the one that struggled the most with homeschooling. Not that he did bad, he just didn't like it very much. So we needed to give him a little bit more attention. Excuse me, not a little bit, a lot more attention to kind of help him get through that. And one thing I'm very, very proud of him for is Jaden although his everything was complete, and with regards to him passing and whatnot, and his teacher was extremely happy with him. He still had about 5 or 6, maybe 7 little assignments that were due that he could have turned in, but the teacher said no, he's totally fine. He passed with flying colors. My son literally, on the last day of school, he didn't have to turn these in. School was done. It was a fun day. On the last day of school, he and I sat down, and we knocked out the last assignments. He wanted to. And I told him, I said, that shows character, that shows that you care, that shows that you started a job and you wanted to finish it. Even though school is done and the teacher said she didn't need these, you know what that's going to do? That's going to show her that you care about your schooling, that you care about finishing something that you started. I said, and I'm very proud of you. So he completed the work that he didn't need to do. I mean, it was for regular school week, the week prior, but he knocked them out anyway, and the teacher was happy about that. Even though, like I said, school was done, grades were in, he was fine. I'm very proud of him for that, because that's something that I've been trying to teach him. I know his mom's been trying to teach him that as well. So my boys did well. Both of them graduated. Jaden is moving on to the 5th grade. Jordan's going into the 7th grade, and man, is time flying. Time is flying. Again, I always tell you guys, the most precious thing you have is time. So when people waste your time, you give them 2, 3 chances. That third chance, man, you got to shake those people, because time is something that nobody can ever give you back. Um, I mean that, especially if you have kids, you don't get this time back. It never comes back. Once it's gone, it's gone. So I'm just sitting here blown away that my son's going to the 7th grade. And before I know it, I know he's going to be in high school, and I'm going to be scratching my head in disbelief. Uh, but they're both doing well. Jaden had a birthday. I believe I discussed that already. Jaden, had a great time. I know I touched on that already. He did rocket jump with all his friends. We had great food. It was a great party after having a quarantine birthday. So he had a great time. Um, for his birthday, he also got money. And we invested again. And he comes back around. He gives me $5. Actually, this money that I'm touching on, this is not the birthday money. We already invested his birthday money. The money he gave me was money that he earned doing Uber Eats. So as you guys know, I always take my kids out, and they want to earn money. So I opened an account to do Uber Eats, to deliver food. So I started doing that so they had a way to make money. There's no paper routes no more. There's no real jobs for kids that age to make money. So I said, okay, I'll sign up for Uber Eats, and we'll get you guys started. And I will basically be your driver, and we will go do the pickups and drop offs, and you will do all of it and earn the money. So, anyways, the last money that my son Jaden earned, he gives it right back to me. And he says, "Get me some Ethereum." I kid you not. That's exactly how he said it. Turns back around, hands me the money. He goes, "Dad, get me some Ethereum." And I said, "Are you sure?" And he says, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, all right, we'll get you some Ethereum." And Ethereum is another crypto. So we threw some money at that. And like I said, I'm not here to give financial advice or whatever. I'm just telling you, sharing with you guys what we are doing. We don't have our eggs all in one basket. When he's investing, we're putting money everywhere. So we've got little bundles of money in all kinds of different things, and we're just seeing what works. We're just seeing what works. Okay. Ethereum may crash, may never make anything. Dogecoin may crash and may never make anything. We don't know. We're just taking bits of money and we're putting it everywhere. I just think it's awesome that my son gets some money, and he's like, "Here, take this, put it towards Ethereum. Hey, take this, put it towards SafeMoon. Take this little part and put it towards Dogecoin." And yeah, it's just been awesome to do that. Jordan's been doing the same thing. So that just happened, and I'm proud of him for that. Let's see. Jordy's birthday just happened last week. He turned 12, so now I have a 10 and a 12-year-old. Yes, they're getting older. I keep looking at pictures of when they were babies, man, and I'm kind of blown away. Jordy turned 12, and man, I was I'm happy about this kid, man, because he wanted just something so simple. We were hoping to be playing baseball in the playoffs during this time, and we were supposed to have a little cake and a little celebration after one of our games, but we didn't make that far. We ended up losing our game, and we got bounced out of the playoffs. So we had to plan a little something for his birthday that day that we were supposed to be playing baseball. So he wanted to go to the mall. He wanted to go shopping, and have some ice cream and hang out during the day because he knows during the week, parents are working, so it's hard for us to have a party. So he said, "Hey, Dad, Mom, on my birthday, can we just go to the mall? Can we go have some ice cream? Can we have something to eat? And then we'll go to the mall." So we did. We went to the mall, and it was just awesome watching him go around shopping and I couldn't, even though he had money to shop, I couldn't allow him to spend all his money. So when he would buy something, I'd cover half of it. I'm like, "Here, I'll pay for half." And he's like, "Dad, I got the money." I'm like, "I know. I just I want to cover half. I like that you want to spend your money and pay for it, but just it's I don't know, it's a dad thing. I wanna cover half. You know what I mean? Um, Hold on one second. My light. I just realized my light isn't on. There we go. All right. Hey, if you're on YouTube right now, you probably just see my screen light up, right? Um, there we go. Oh my goodness, such a difference. Okay, sorry if you guys are listening on online through Apple or through Spotify. You have no idea what I'm talking about. But my light was off and my camera was really dark, so I had to adjust that. Anyway, so okay, yeah, so I was happy about that. We went and got something to eat. Um, we had some ice cream, some Cold Stone. He bought a Lego set. We ended up getting him, a monitor for his gaming. We've got him. He just got a bunch of stuff. He got pretty much everything that he wanted on his list. And then for his actual birthday, I mean, after that, yeah, for his actual birthday, like going and doing something, uh, he's like, "I just want the boys." And there's a group of boys that he hangs out with. There's like three of them. It's Ricky, Duran, and Trey. And uh, and he's like, "I just want to hang with my boys and my brother. We want to go to Raging Waters. It's hot. It's like 100 degrees out here. Let's go to Raging Waters." Raging Waters is a water park in my city that has slides and everything. And he's like, "We just want to go there." So me and his mom, we flipped and basically bought all five of the kids, including ourselves, season passes and paid for it. And the kids came and he had his three friends and his brother, and it was a small thing. They enjoyed the water park. They had fun going on these big rides, eating, drinking, whatever they wanted, and it was a good time. And then afterwards, went back home, had the ice cream cake. He opened some more gifts, and then they played wiffle ball in the backyard until about 10 o'clock at night. And man, it's awesome to see that it didn't take very much for him. It's what he wanted. He just literally told me and his mom, "I just want the boys. That's all. I just want the boys. I want to go to Raging Waters, and I just want me and my boys." And man, he's getting big. Like the way he says it too. "I just want the boys." Like he's getting big. It reminds me of just me growing up. I remember, thinking, "I just want to be around my homies, man. I don't want to be around anything extra. I just want to be around my friends, the people that I'm with all the time." And that's what we did. And he was happy. I totally expected him to want to do something big, which we were prepared to, break the bank and and go big for him, to make it special for him. And he didn't want it. So we kept it simple as he asked. So that was that. And so Jordan is now 12, and yeah, man, it's been quite the journey with these two boys, but I'm very happy that to be their father, to be involved in their lives, and just be able to watch these kids grow, man, and watch the lessons that me and their mom have been teaching them start to come together, and watch them grow up to be young men. You know what I mean? Let's see. What else do we got? Our baseball season is over. As you know, so school is over. The kids are in summer. and our baseball season is over. We got bounced out of the playoffs. We gave it our best shot. Unfortunately, we just got bounced out, man. There's a lot of, uh, you know, without getting too deep, there's a lot of politics when it comes to little league. If you're a father or a mother and your kids play little league, and I'm sure you see a lot of politics. There's a lot of teams that you play when you get to the playoffs. All of a sudden, these teams seem to be stacked, and if it's teams you've played throughout the year. All of a sudden, you see these new kids on this team. You're like, wait a minute, we just played this team, and now they got three new players in the playoffs. What's going on here? So we were dealing with a lot of that. We were noticing the teams that we were playing had some new players, and we had the same team the entire year. So without going on a rant about Little League, that's kind of what we were dealing with. And I'm just the type of person to be like, to hell with it, man. They can do whatever they want to do. I'm going to play with the 12 kids that I have here, and we're going to give it our best shot. And that's what we did. Our season is over. We have all stars. Both my kids made all stars. Jordan made all stars for the 12s. Jaden made all stars for the 10-11 team. Yeah, that's what they'll be doing. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough kids for the 12U team to play. We just didn't have enough players from other teams in the league to come on board. So it doesn't look like, and thanks to COVID, this is just what we're dealing with. It doesn't look like we're going to have a team. So Jordy did make all stars along with a few other kids on my team that I coached. So we're going to try and get them hats and whatnot. But Jaden's team will be playing. They've got more than enough kids, and we're just happy. We're just happy. The kids had a wonderful baseball season. Our last game of the season, man, this kid that, like I told you, they had these teams had kids that we didn't see throughout the whole season until the playoffs. This kid threw a two-hitter against us. And I'm proud to say that Jordan is the only kid that had the two hits. Like, I'm just happy to say that, man. I work with my sons in the off season a lot, and we got two hit on our final playoff game, and Jordan had both hits, and they were solid shots. So I'm just proud to say, and to see that the work that we do in the off season works. You know what I mean? Because it was a rough game. Um, Speaking of that game, my son is growing, man, and I love his attitude. My son gave up a dinger, man. Jordan literally hung a fastball at the eyes of some kid that's probably got an inch or two on me. I'm 5'6". This kid was easily 5'7", maybe 5'8". He threw a fastball at this kid's eyes, and all he had to do was hit it. And the dude swung high, hit it, and it went over the right field fence. And I was a little worried. I told his mom, I said, that ball's gone. She's like, no, no. I go, no, it's gone. That ball's gone. And it went over the fence, and I watched him. I wanted to see if he was going to get rattled. And he looked at me, and he was like, you could see in his face, like, damn. But it wasn't like, damn it, and he was sad or anything. He went on, pitched. We got the next batter out, and he came in, and he looked at me, and he goes, dang, I just gave up a bomb. And he had this smile on his face, and I'm like, I looked at him, I go, hey, I gave him a high five. I go, buddy, you pitched your butt off. I go, you threw a meatball. That's something that Panda from the Giants, he loves high pitches. That's something that he would have swung at. It wasn't a strike, but that kid's eyes got big. He hit it and it went over. I go, I love the fact that you're not shaking and that you're okay with that. I said, because listen, man, you pitch long enough in baseball, you're gonna give a bomb up. It just happens. And he was fine. So uh, that's another lesson that I taught him well into baseball. When he was in the minors, I taught him that lesson because kids were taunting him when he was pitching, um, and he gave up a lead in a game, and we lost. This was in the minors when he first started pitching, and he was shaken. He was hurt by what the kids were yelling at him, and I taught him a lesson of, hey man, this is what's going to happen. It's going to get worse as you get into the higher ranks, and then you get to high school, it gets worse. They're going to start talking about your dad. They're going to talk about your mom. They're going to talk about everything. And he's like, why? And I said, it's just the way it is. I said, so I'm glad it happened now. And then he came back and had a game-winning hit, like a game or two after that in the minors. So these are lessons that I've been giving him and to see in the majors that he gave up a dinger and wasn't hurt, he wasn't phased by it and kind of laughed about it. it shows me that, hey, these lessons are they're taking form now, and he's okay. So that made me proud. Made me proud of him. Um, it hasn't been it hasn't been that great of a start to the summer for me though. As you guys know, I coach, I mentor, and when school is back, I'll be back to doing the after school program that I do at a local elementary school with my church. So weekly, I do an after school program at a local elementary school. So once school gets back, I'll be doing that. But it hasn't been that great of a start. What I mean by that is, I recently was notified by a friend of mine that a kid looked familiar on some footage of a ring cam in a neighborhood of something that happened in a neighborhood, and he said, this looks like one of the kids that you mentor, and I was hoping he was wrong, and he wasn't. Um, I got the footage and I looked and I was like, wow, that's definitely him. And I said, well, what happened? And he said, well, someone's trying to find out who these kids are because they damaged a vehicle. And I said, okay, did he? He said, no, it looks like he didn't do it, but he was with the group, and they were trying to get away. And so he got caught on camera. I'm like, oh boy, oh boy. So, um, I reached out to the family and sent them the photos of these screenshots that were sent to me. Um, and I said, listen, I'm gonna let you talk to him first, and then I'm gonna talk to him. And they had the talk. We found out that he, in fact, wasn't the one that did the actual offense, but he was with these other kids. Apparently, the other kid was much, much older and was the cousin of his friend, which doesn't make it any better. But I'm glad that he wasn't the one that actually did what the incident was, and I'll leave that to your imagination. I'm not going to talk about that in detail. But what I told him was this: I got on the phone and I said, "This goes back to me teaching you about you are who you hang out with." I said, before you say anything, I don't care that you didn't know that person. You were with your friend, and that was his cousin. Okay? Now, you can't tell me that the whole time you did the sleepover and you stayed around these people that you couldn't tell that that dude was an idiot, that he was going to act up. Okay? Because I've been around people that do stuff like this, and you can tell they're that type of people right away. I said, now you better start getting better at identifying who those people are and saying, hey, I'm gonna actually head back home. My mom messaged me and she wanted to know what time I'm coming home. I told her I'm coming now. You got to get better at getting yourself out of that situation before something like this happens, because this is what I went back to telling you. It doesn't matter that you didn't do it. You were in that group. No one knows that you're a good student. No one knows that you're a good athlete. No one knows that you're respectful to your mom and your dad. No one knows that you're respectful to me. No one knows that you have really good friends. What they know is you are one of the 6 kids that just damaged someone's vehicle and you took off and you didn't stay there and say, hey, I didn't do it, but I want to stay here and I'll talk to you. But I didn't do it. All they know is you're part of the group that ran, and now they're stuck with a bill to try to fix whatever happened to their vehicle. And then I told them a story about, how I grew up and me avoiding probably one of the most dangerous situations I ever had happen in my life by simply saying, I'm not going to go. I have a baseball game. I can't make it. And baseball saved my life because later that day, a bunch of people that I know ended up in the hospital. One of the people almost died, and because I made the decision to say I can't go. I know you guys want me there, but I can't go. I have a high school game that I have to play. We play today at 3:30. I can't be there. I told him I made that choice to not be there. I made that choice because I knew I had other things, a commitment. And I said, I need you to understand that, man. You have a choice. When you know you're around people that are knuckleheads or being idiots, you have a choice. You can hang around and be like, well, as long as I don't do it. No, you're part of the problem. If you're in that group, you're part of the problem, and you will get drugged down because right at that moment it was probably a car. But you know what it can be next time? Someone someone getting into a fight, someone getting seriously hurt. You're there and part of that group. How about this one? Another thing breaking out. Someone gets stabbed. Someone gets shot. You don't know these people. Like, oh, but that was my friend's cousin. You were still there with that group. It doesn't matter. And he said, I understand, coach. I said, do you? Because that's how serious it can get. That's how quick your life can change. Yeah, it's nothing because it's a car right now. You're getting older. You're going into high school. It gets more serious. The next time it's a fight. The next time that someone gets stabbed. And the next time someone gets shot. But I didn't do it. Were you with them? Yeah? Then it doesn't matter. And he said, I understand. I go, I hope that you do. Because does it sound like I'm playing with you? Does it sound like I'm being funny? Because I'm not being funny. I said, now you may not look at me as some street guy or some dude who's ran the streets or whatever, and I'm not. But I've had my run-ins with the streets. I have my friends that are still affiliated with the streets. I'm not that, but I have those people in my life. I know how quick things can turn. I've been there. And if you don't want to be there, you better get better at identifying who the hell you're hanging out with. Because the next time it may not be a car getting damaged. The next time you may not be able to walk away from it. And he said, I understand. I said, that was the first day of your summer, the first day off. It's not a good start. You better reel it back in and get back to work. Okay? Because listen, I can't have you around my kids and around me and all the positive things that I do if that's what you're going to be doing. If you want to go hang out with dudes like that, you want to go hang out with girls like that, you want to go do all that, go do it. But you ain't doing it with me. And you're not doing it with my kids. I said I will cut your ass off quicker than you could imagine. I will cut your ass off. Do you understand me? He said, I understand. I can't tolerate it, man. I love him to death, but I need not just him, but the kids that I coach, the other kids that I mentor, my own kids. I need them to understand. I don't play with that shit. I don't have time for it. I told my sons and I told him, I said, I'm the dad. I will show up at the party that you told me you weren't going to be at, that I found out that you went to. I'm the dad. I will show up there and I will pull you out of the house. Like, yo, have my son come out. No, I don't want to hear what you're talking about. Have my son come out. Bring him out. If you don't want me to go to my car and shut this whole thing down, then you need to send my son out right now. Do it. That's the dad I am. I'm not losing my kids to no bullshit. That's how serious this is for me. And I told him, do you get what I'm saying? If you want to be around me, if you want to be around my kids, you can't be doing that. You can't be running in those circles. You don't get to run in this circle here, and then all of a sudden, when you're not around us, you go run with a bunch of knuckleheads and do all that. You need to make a choice. You're either here or you're not. And he said, I'm here. Man, it's hard to give those lessons. You know what I mean? But they're lessons that are important. They're needed because before you realize it, man, it's things have happened too many times, and you don't have control over it no more. So you got to set the standard, set the expectation of what you expect. You know what I mean? And that's that's where I'm at with that situation. He's doing much better now, and I'm happy for him. Hopefully, high school's coming, man. Hopefully, he stays on that path. Um, you know, moving past that, and I want to get off into coaching real quick. I had a couple of things happen recently with regards to coaching, and man, they just warmed my heart, and it's tough because I'm in a situation where I wish I had more time to help more kids. You know what I mean? And I'm not. I got a message from a mom who I coach her son. Well, I used to coach her son um, in farm with another coach. I was an assistant coach. This kid Shane, and he's just a good kid. He really likes the way I coach, and he's always told me he wanted to play for me. And she sent me a DM, and she said, "Hey, we were doing this. I was teaching my kid, when a train passes over you." And you're in your car. She's like, I told him, we usually, when I was growing up, we used to put our hands on the roof and we would give 2 wishes. And he goes, all right, can I do it? Because there was a train going over them. And so he put his hand on the roof, and he said, I forget what one of them was, but the second one he wished for was to play for Coach Ray in baseball next year. And she said, I just wanted you to know that he has wanted to play baseball for you for a long time, and that's why he always stops by your games when he's done with his games to say hi and to tell you how well he did. He really wants to play for you next year, and he's just excited, and that was one of his wishes. And man, did that man did that like that just punched me in the gut, man. Like you never know how much of an impact you're making on kids. Um, I love kids, man. I love being a father, and kids are just genuine, man. They got, you know, no filter. They just, most of them are so eager to learn. Um, and I love being able to teach kids about life and the game of baseball and just respect and how to approach life and how to be strong when things are hard. And that just made me feel really special. Um, I got a I got a card and a keychain from another kid. Uh, this girl Kayana that I have taught how to play baseball. She literally came to our league and had never played baseball before, and so I had to teach her how to throw. I had to teach her how to hit, how to field, all of that, how to catch the ball, and she is now 3 years into it, going on 4, and she made All Stars for the first time this year. And her mom told me that it's because of me, and she's thankful, so thankful that much that I've worked with her daughter and had patience to teach her the game. That it's changed her life. It's just made her so much happier. And they gave me a keychain about about a coach changing lives and being more than a coach. You know what I mean? And so I got that keychain on my keys now, and it's just I don't know, man. I have a warm heart, a warm feeling in my heart with every time these things happen. It just makes it feel like it's all worthwhile. You know what I mean? Because I go out there and I give my all to these kids, not just for baseball, but just teaching them about school and how important it is, and about how important it is to be respectful, and how important it is to learn how to fight through adversity, and how important it is to communicate and be strong. And it's just great. It's just great. And I've got a few things that have happened aside from those two stories, but it's just been overwhelming, man. It's been a great baseball season, um, super overwhelming. Um, Anyways, moving on, man. Uh, Father's Day just happened, so happy late Father's Day to all you fathers out there. Father's Day is, you know, some people say it's a holiday that's often overlooked, and fathers are taken for granted. Um, I don't know if I feel taken for granted. I feel very special. My situation's a little different. I know we don't get all the super accolades that most moms get for this holiday, and that's okay. We're guys, we're men. Um, but Father's Day is always a good day for me because Father's Day is when I had my first son, Jordan. He'll tell you if he was here, he would say, I said, "What makes you special?" He'd be like, "I was your Father's Day gift." And yeah, he was my Father's Day gift. Um, so what could you ask for? What more could you ask for? Um, but it was special. I went to church that day. Um, First time with no mask, which was really, really good. I was very happy to be there with no mask and to see everybody in the chairs with no mask. It was awesome. So that was a great way to start the day. And then the rest of the day, man, was kind of cool. I thought they may want to go to the beach and just go hang out. And my sons said, "Nah, Dad, we just want to barbecue at the house. We want to watch the Giants, and then we want to watch the NBA playoffs and just hang out. That's what we want to do. Burgers, hot dogs, carne asada, and hang out." I said, "Are you sure?" They said, "Yeah." And right about that time, I got a text from Duran, who's you guys. I mentioned him plenty of times on this podcast. Duran, if you're on my Instagram, he's the kid with the curly hair. Um, he texted me and said, "Hey, Coach, happy Father's Day. I hope you have a good one." He's like, "Hey, I asked my mom if I could ask you if I could spend Father's Day with you guys, if I could hang out. I don't know if you guys are doing anything, but if it's okay, my mom told me to check with you first." And I always ask my kids because I don't. Sometimes I don't want to be oblivious to when my kids just want me to themselves. Um, because I'm always around a lot of kids, and I want to be mindful of my children um, with them having me time because I don't want to be so caught up with always being around all these other kids. And sometimes my kids may be like, "Dad, that's cool and all, but can we just do us?" You know what I mean? So I'm very mindful of that. So I asked my kids, I said, "Hey, do you mind if Duran comes? It's totally fine. If you want to do Father's Day with just us, I'm okay with that." He asked me, so I'm asking you guys, what do you prefer? And they're like, "No, no, no, call him." They're like, "Yeah, he can hang out. Let's watch. We can game and stuff too." And so I texted him. I said, "Yeah, man, be ready at this time. I'll go pick you up." So I picked him up, and he spent Father's Day with me. Duran spent the last, I believe, last two Father's Days besides this one. He spent Father's Day with me, and I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Um, Like I said, I've known him since fifth grade, and I've been trying to make sure that he doesn't fall by the wayside and that he's in a circle of good kids and people who are giving him good values and teaching him about life and trying to keep him on the right path. So if he wants to spend Father's Day with me, I'm all for it. It makes me feel special that he wants to do that, and I'd be happy to be there and do that and have him around my kids. So that was my Father's Day. I was on the grill all day. Um, and we just hung out, watched the games, and that was that. I got this, what you see me wearing right here, this PR Puerto Rico hat. I got this from my kids, which was pretty funny because I was actually looking at, not the gold one, but I was looking at the hats online on the website. And it's funny that I got this for Father's Day. And then we got tickets to go to the Giants game coming up this Saturday. Where they'll be giving out a Yaz bobblehead. So we got to get there early because you know us and hit it here, Yaz. We got to get one of those. So we'll be there Saturday. So that was Father's Day for me. Again, I hope you guys had a great Father's Day. Um, you know, if it wasn't a great Father's Day, um, and maybe you don't have the best relationship with your kids, maybe Maybe your kids aren't in your life, or maybe you're just not at a good point in your life as a father. Um, there is you're never out of time. Okay, so I need you to listen if you're a father. Listen close. My dad is pushing 70, and that man still thinks that I hate him. That man still thinks that I hold grudges from all the things that he did to my mom and me from years ago, which is why he won't give himself the chance at a relationship with me and his grandkids, because he thinks it's too late. He thinks I hate him. He thinks I'm teaching my kids to not love him. It couldn't be farther from the truth. I don't hate that man. I forgave him years ago. He can't forgive himself. I love him. I pray for him every day. When I tell you I pray for him every day, I'm telling you the truth. I pray for that man every day. It's never too late. That man can pick up the phone right now and say, I'm sorry. And say, I'd like to see you and the kids. And I would grab my kids, put them in the car, and we would go drive and see him. Because God is my witness. He's in his own way. He thinks it's too late. It's not. So if you're listening to this and you're a father and you keep thinking it's too late, you keep thinking your son hates you, your daughter hates you, or I don't have a good relationship, they don't want to see me. What you're saying is you're afraid to do the work. You're afraid to take the first step. But when they close the door the first time, you take it as that's the final answer and you walk away. Don't give up. I don't care if your kids are grown. Hey, I'm going to be 47 in September. And I'm telling you right now, it's not too late for my father. If you have grown kids, it is never too late. You have to get out of your own way. Pick up that phone. Go see them. You will be surprised how easy it is to just pick up the phone and say, I'm sorry. I'd like to see you. Do it. If you didn't do it for Father's Day, because I know this is after Father's Day that you're hearing this, if you didn't do it now. Don't be that old man who's laying in his deathbed saying, I wish I had a relationship with my kid. Saying that I wish I would have tried. Don't be that old man laying in bed, dying thinking that your kid hated you and your kid doesn't hate you. Because that's my dad. You understand? It's never too late. Go fix it. You can do it. And if you don't know how to do it, hit me on a DM. I'll give you my number. We can talk. Your kids need you. I'm 47, and there are things that I need my dad for. Nothing financial, nothing, anything like that, but just conversation. Your kids need you. Got it? Moving forward, I haven't seen my boy Trey, who I do music with, um, in a long time. I didn't realize how long it was. I hadn't seen Trey in over a year. Trey was, we kind of, everything was shut down. He was going to school and whatnot online and then doing some other stuff. So we took the pandemic and we didn't see each other for a year. I mean, we always talked, FaceTime, on the phone, whatever. We kept in touch always, like we always do. But physically seeing each other, because he lives almost 3 hours away from me, we hadn't seen each other. He came down 2 days ago, and I couldn't believe after talking that it's been more than a year. It's been more like a year and a half. Um, and that was crazy. But man, was it good to see him. He's he's doing well. He wanted to come out. He wanted to run. He's like, I want to run a mile with the kids. So he wanted to run a mile with the boys, and then he wanted to play baseball, play catch, and hit the ball, and then he just wanted to hang out, man. And so we did that. So we ran a mile. Him and Jordan took off. Now, mind you, Trey's tall. Trey is, if you see pictures, Trey is much taller than us. Trey has these long legs. I mean, you're talking about a guy who runs an under 7 minute mile. Okay, like he runs under 7 minutes on the mile. My fastest mile is 9:56. All right, I got these little stubs for legs, and he's got these long, huge, crazy, you know, legs. Not the, he's just a runner. Like I'm not saying he's a runner, but he can run a lot faster than we can. So yeah, he did the mile. He did the mile with us, and him and Jordan took off. I stayed back and ran because Jaden needs to stop and run because he's young, and so he's still training. So I stayed back with Jaden and Jordan, and Trey took off running, and they finished their mile in about, I think, 10 minutes and 44 seconds or something, which was cool. I enjoyed watching Trey run with my son way ahead of us, and just because I know Trey, man. Trey's probably having a little conversation with him, asking him how he's doing, and Trey's just a good dude, man. It's my best friend, and he was there from the beginning with my kids, and they love him. There was a time when we used to tell Jaden that Trey was his dad because he was so light skinned and he looked like a little white boy. So I would say that's Trey's son and Jordan's my son. Um, but it was just fun, man. The kids had fun. We went to the baseball field, did a little batting practice. Me and Trey had a little home run derby. He was pitched to me, I pitched to him, and we're trying to see who can hit it over the fence. And had fun. Then afterwards, we went to eat some Hawaiian food. Enjoyed ourselves. Took the kids home, let them relax, and then me and Trey came back and watched some baseball. Had some Gentleman Jack. Hadn't had some Gentleman Jack in a while, but I happened to have a bottle with me, so we cracked the Gentleman Jack and cheersed it up and caught up a little bit, and it was good. I needed that. Uh, it was just good to see him, man. You guys have no idea. Maybe some of you listening know, but man, we've traveled this whole country and Canada together. We've experienced a lot of life together, and I'm just happy to call him a friend. Aside from the music, man, he's just a great guy. So it felt good having him come down. I really needed that. Um, so shout out to Trey. Give Trey a follow on Instagram at West Coast Trey. Check him out. If you are into music, you love music, you do music, you record, maybe you rap, you sing, whatever. He's a producer. So if you're looking for music, he's a producer, and that's pretty much what his content is on his Instagram. I share my life. Trey is really more private than I am, but he does definitely share production and beats and whatnot that he's doing. So if you are into music and that's what you want to do, that's who you want to follow. All right, West Coast Trey at Instagram. All right, so check him out. All right, let's get off into this topic real quick. I'm gonna try to wrap this up here in the next uh, 15 minutes. All right. All right. So, I'm drinking a little bit of water. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm going to keep this podcast raw. All right. So, just walk. I'm at a point right now where some people would call it a funk, right? But I don't know if I would call it a funk, but things are definitely not happening as fast as I would like. Um, it's just, I have a certain expectation, um, and they're just not happening as fast as I would like, with regards to work, with regards to results I'm getting on investments, uh, you know, life, dating, um, just all these different things, answers I'm looking for certain questions. Nothing seems to be happening as fast as I would like. Um, and I'm sharing this with you guys because I always try to be transparent, right? Um, but the topic is just walk. And what I mean by that is, as long as you keep walking, means you're moving forward, right? Just keep walking. I have a problem with sometimes I think that I need to run. So I'm gonna run. I'm gonna everything up tempo. I'm gonna run, run, run. Everything is moving at fast pace, and it's not doing that for me right now. So there are times when I don't want to get out of bed. There are times when I don't want to work out. There are times when I just don't want to talk to anybody because I'm not happy with the rate that things are moving. I'm not happy with it. So I've had to reel myself back in and tell myself, Ray, just keep walking. Just walk. Okay? Understand that it's not going to all go as fast as you want. Sometimes you just got to, like they say, enjoy the process. You got to walk. Just walk. As long as you're moving forward, keep walking. Don't worry about all the other stuff. You don't get no answers. You don't get nothing until you keep moving forward. You have to keep moving forward. Nothing happens if you stay in bed. Nothing happens if you shut down. Nothing happens if you push people away. Nothing happens if you stop taking phone calls, if you stop responding to emails, if you stop doing the things that you care about. Nothing happens. You have to continue to move forward. And if you're used to jogging or running or things moving at a fast pace and it's not happening, don't just stop and be stagnant. Walk. So I've had to tell myself to do that, which is why you heard me start the podcast with that quote from Joe Rogan, because I have to remember that. So I had a conversation with a friend of mine who was, you know, saying I got to get this answer. I got to plan because my future depends on this. And I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and they're doing all these things. So here's the thing in the middle that really needs to be done, but they're doing this thing on the side, this thing on the side, this thing back here, this thing on this side, this thing on this side. And I said, "Hey, you know what? You know what's wrong? You're doing everything around the biggest topic that you need to figure out, but you're not doing the main thing in the middle. You understand that you're trying to skip the big thing, the elephant in the room, but you still want the answer to the big thing. Let me say that again. You're not addressing the biggest thing in the room, the elephant in the room, the big topic. You're not addressing it. You want the answer to it, but you're going to do all the things around it instead of addressing it. And so I said, you have to hit that thing head on. All of these other things are just little answers you get. You don't get the big answers, and things don't start falling into place until you hit that main thing head on. It has to happen. And that person was like, "You're right." I said, "I know I'm right because I do it in my own life. I know. I'm telling you from experience. I've tried to avoid moving on something that was so big in my life because I was afraid, and I started doing all the little things around it. It's like having a tree in your front yard. You know the tree's roots are tearing up the cement, the sidewalk in front of your house. They're starting to tear up the uh, the foundation of your house. You know that tree in the middle is the problem, but you're trimming all the shrubs. Let me get these shrubs out of the way. Let me get all these shrubs out of the way. Let me move these bricks. Let me do all that. Let me do this. You're doing all the little stuff, but the biggest problem is standing right in front of you and you're avoiding it. I want all the answers. I want all the results. You don't get the answers or the results until you Move forward and attack the one thing that's going to give you those. You can't avoid it. We want the answer so fast. We want the answer so fast, but we don't want to do the work. I'm telling you because it's me. Listen, anytime I talk about stuff like this on my podcast, I'm not talking down to anybody. I'm not talking at anybody. I'm talking from experience. I'm talking because I do it. I have done it and I still do it at times, and I have to catch myself so I don't do it again. I have to identify and catch on and be like, there you go. And I have to stop myself. So when I'm here on this podcast, I'm not saying, hey, you, like I'm perfect. It's not that. I'm sharing with you the reality that I still deal with that myself. And when I have these conversations with people that I love, I have to tell them, you're trying to get all these results and all these answers, and you're not addressing the main thing that's going to give you all those things. The chips are hanging right here. They're not going to fall until you address that one thing. Once that one thing gets resolved, then everything falls on the table, and you're able to see what you have left. And then you can say, okay, well, this sucks, this is great. This is all right. It wasn't what I expected, but let me take that. You know what I mean? That's what happens. You don't get to sidestep here, sidestep there and get answers. You have to walk through the fire. You have to walk. Some of us want to run. If you can't run, you got to walk. I understand about it being hard. Trust me, I understand. With dating, I just had a conversation with a woman on my DM, and she had asked me you know, she had asked me how I was doing, and I said I'm doing good, and how you doing, and we've talked about wanting to meet and have coffee and whatnot, um, on some friend stuff, and I said, yeah, I said I would love to still meet you, and she's like, okay, we should. And, we have a lot of similarities. She's a mother. I'm a father. But we connect on a lot of things. We've never met each other, but we've talked. But the thing I told her was, I said, I'll be honest. I've been, dating here and there, and I can't connect. Like nothing's connecting. Like I'm meeting some great people. You know what I mean? Wonderful people. But that one connection is it's just not there. I can't get past seeing these people in the future around my kids. Um, so I go, it's tough. And she's like, I'm the same way. She's like, I can't connect. And she's like, but that's why we date. You got to keep trying. I said, yeah, exactly. So talking about dating, that's it's a little frustrating. I don't really like dating, but it is what it is. Life, we're not meant to be alone. So like I said in the previous podcast, I'm gonna keep putting myself out there. And what I keep doing is I'm moving forward. I'm walking forward. I'm doing the work. So I put it all out there. I tell people who I am. This is exactly who I am. This is who I am, and I let them make their decision. And then I assess, do I like this person? Do I think that they are compatible with me in my life? But you only get to do that if you put it all out there. So that's what I've been doing. And the results have been there's no compatibility. There's a few things, but not enough to really make that connection. Um, I'm very happy with my life. That was one of the last conversations I had with someone that I went out with. I'm very happy with my life. I'm not willing to change who I am as a father, who I am as a man. I like the way my life is set up. There are always some things that I wish I could tweak, but I like where I'm at. And I'm not willing to change that for somebody. I'm not willing to have someone come into my life and say, hey, let's fix this, fix this, fix. I know I like who I am. I've got to a point where I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy alone. I don't need someone to make me happy. And I'm not going to make all these crazy adjustments just to get into a relationship. So I put it all out there, let the chips fall where they may. And if they fall by the wayside, then so be it. We keep on moving. We walk, we move forward. So that's what I've been doing. It's not an easy process, man. It really isn't. But you know what? The The repercussions of rushing a process like that and making the mistake of getting involved with the wrong person are are devastating because you've got children involved. Okay, so it's a process you have to take your time with, and that's where I'm at. Um, who knows? I don't know how long the process is going to be. Um, we'll see. I'm just going to keep on walking. All right. I'm done running right now. I'm going to keep walking because right now life just requires me to walk because I've just got too much going on. Um, my work life, it's up and down. When you're a small business owner, sometimes the business is up here, sometimes it's down here. Right now, it's kind of somewhere in between. Um, and I don't know if that's going to change. I'm pushing for it to change. There's a lot of things that I'm not happy with that, I'm working towards fixing. But I'll tell you this, my bills are paid. My kids have what they want, and that's all that matters. I live a very simple life. It doesn't cost a lot for me to live. Um, I pretty much invest and use the rest of that money to make sure my kids are taken care of. And me, it doesn't take very much to make me happy. So there's that. Some of my investments, they're a roller coaster. You know what I mean? But they're long term. And if you are in investing in the stock market or in crypto or in other things, you know it's long term. Most of these moves are long term, so they're always like up and down. So it's kind of been one of those things where the last month has been, dragging through. Um, so I've been frustrated and not wanting to get out of bed and kind of, but I've been pushing my way through, pushing my way through. All right. Um, I could talk to you about this all day with regards to, life, dating, answers to things that are going to change your life for forever. Getting results, whether it be working out or anything like that. But all of this goes back to moving forward. Okay, just walk. Uh, like I told you, my biggest thing was I like fast results. I like to know the answer before I get started. I like to know, do I have a chance for this to go my way before I get started? And you know what? We're not always going to get that answer. We're just not. We've got to move forward. All right. So if I can leave you with anything, it's this: you're never going to get results if you stay stagnant. You're never going to get the answers you want if you don't do the work. Okay? And there are going to be some days that you feel weak. There are going to be some days that you feel angry, that you don't want to do it, that you just don't have the urge, you don't have the drive. There are going to be days that you're just like going to find every excuse in the book not to get up and start your day, or not to make that phone call and get that answer, or not to call or send that email to someone that you know you got to make that move on. You got to do it. It starts with you just moving forward slowly. Hit everything head on and just walk. Okay? Once you're done walking, you'll get to a jog. And once you're done jogging, you will get to a run. All right? And I'm telling you because that's what I've been dealing with recently. And I've just had to tell myself, Ray, just walk. Just walk. Okay? As long as you're moving forward, you're good. That's where I'm at. Okay? So don't lose your faith. Don't lose your drive. Okay? Just like I started this podcast with you getting up if you're sick and finding an excuse to get to the restroom or get to the kitchen to make you something to eat. You could take your butt to the gym. You can take your butt outside and get some exercise in. Go run, go lift some weights, go do whatever, do some push-ups, whatever. They may not be the best reps. They may not be the fastest mile. They may not be anything that you're used to, but at least you are doing the work and you are moving forward. Okay? And trust me, that thing, whatever it is you got going on in your life that you're avoiding because you know the minute the decision comes down on that one thing, it's going to alter your life forever. At some point, it's going to do it regardless. At some point, it's going to happen. And if I were you, I would take it upon yourself to just address it, knock it out, so you can get the results and the answers that you're waiting for. Don't leave the results in somebody else's hands. Okay? Do the work, move forward, get past it so you can start doing the other things that you really want to do in life. Okay? That's what I got. I love you guys. This has been episode 38 of the Ray Molina Perfect Mess podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure to check me out on Instagram at the Perfect Mess Pod. That is the podcast Instagram. My personal Instagram is at It's Ray Molina. My website is raymolina.com. For those of you who would like to donate, it's not required, but some of you have donated. I use Cash App. It's $ It's Ray Molina. Yeah, that's what I have. There's merchandise and everything on the website, books that I read, reviews, links to all those things. You can listen to the podcast, watch the podcast. And if you're on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Google, whatever it is, please hit that follow button, subscribe button, review, comment, share, whatever. Even on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, please. The Perfect Mess Podcast with Ray Molina. All right, that's been episode 38. Just Walk. I love you guys. I hope you have a very, very blessed day. I will catch up with you on the flip side. God bless. Peace.
Perfect mess is my perfect mess. Perfect mess is my perfect